Okay, the video for this meeting has started. And just so that you know, Commissioner Pena Sarmiento is now in the meeting as well. So we're ready to begin.
Okay, fine. Hi, everybody. I would like to call the special meeting of the Historic Resource Commission on March 25th at 2021 to order at 4:35. And would you please stand with me? Sarah, do we have a flag?
Yes, we do have a flag. Are we able to show it on the video, John? Or, yeah. I'm sorry, Chair Christie. We have the new system and it's not able to point towards the flag, but if we could all stand and place our hands over our heart.
Okay, if you give me 1 minute, I've got a flag. Okay.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Right, well, I guess I could do it like this. Let me see. Should I do that? Oh, wait.
Okay.
Okay.
I have a flag in my background if that will work.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I believe so.
Okay, can everybody see the flag?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, would you join me by placing your hand on your heart, right hand over the heart? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Go Angels! Sorry about that. Anyway, before we get started, I would like to welcome our new and returning commissioners to our Historic Resource Commission. And if you would, I'm going to call on you, and if you can just introduce yourself for 2 minutes. And the first one I see on my screen is Commissioner, I'm sorry, I have Commissioner C.
Commissioner Carpenter.
There you
Carpenter, okay, Commissioner Carpenter, hi, how are you? Welcome.
Good.
Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and what area you represent on the commission?
Sure. I'm from Ward 1. I've been a resident of Santa Ana for about 37 years. Formerly worked for the Southern California Edison Company as a civil inspector. And semi-retired now, do a little bit of consulting back with Edison, but primarily retired. And yeah, that's pretty much it.
Well, thank you. Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome, Commissioner. Well, returning is our Vice Chair. He was off for 17 days. Vice Chair Rush, Commissioner. Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Tim Rush. I've lived in town for 33 years, and I live in the Wilshire Square neighborhood. I'm David Penaloza's appointment to the commission, and I also serve as a board member for Preserve Orange County, which is a countywide historic preservation organization. And
great organization.
The Redevelopment Commission. So be here.
And then below Min, hi Min. Hi.
How are you doing?
Fine. Below them is Commissioner. Could you introduce yourself? All I see is Commissioner.
I believe it's Commissioner Ship.
No, it's Commissioner. He has a mustache.
That's got to be me.
And
Hi,
you
I'm
are-
Ed Marashi. I've lived in Santa Ana since
hi,
2012.
It didn't look like you.
Yeah, and I'm Ed
Okay.
Marashi. I live in Santa Ana in Floral Park. Lived there since 2012. Currently working at Vire Medical. We make medical ventilators. Also, I run my own company, and that's about it. Enjoy being on the commission.
Very good. And then next up I see is Commissioner Shep. Hi, Dwayne.
Hello, can everyone hear me?
A
Yes.
little
Yeah.
louder.
A little louder? Okay, I'm gonna have to yell. Okay, I'm Dwayne Ship. I'm a resident here of Santa Ana. I represent the 5th Ward. I was invited by City Councilman Jonathan Hernandez to be a part of this historic commission. And I'm a resident of here. I've been in Santa Ana about 45 years. Our family been here about 60 years. I'm the son of the late Helen M. Ship. She was the founder and president of the Orange County Black Historical Commission, who founded the Black History Parade. I am her son. I am now heading the Orange County Heritage Council, which I am the president of that organization. So that's pretty much it.
So pleased to have you. Yes, I knew your mother well.
You and my mother were great friends. She loved you.
Oh, thank you so much. Commissioner Hardy, welcome.
Hello, Chair Christie. Thank you. My name is Janelle Hardy, and I am the citywide representative this time around. I live in Hettinger Park neighborhood. I've been here over 30 years, and I'm also a neighborhood leader in the neighborhood, serving as president. I'm happy to be back. I thought I was going to get to goof off, but then I asked to be appointed, and I was. So I'm back. So good to see everybody. Welcome our new commissioners. Thank you.
And Commissioner McLaughlin, welcome. Would you tell us how your position on our commission?
Okay, hi, I'm Mark McLaughlin, and I am the chair of the Planning Commission. So I am also the representative of the Planning Commission on the HRC. So for the next 3 or 4 months until we have elections, I will remain as part of the HRC as well as the chair of the Planning Commission. Just as a little bit of background, I've been in Santa Ana for about 30 years, live in Floral Park. I've been on the Planning Commission for the last 5 years. I've been chair for the last 3 to 4 years. I've also actually been on the HRC prior to the Planning Commission. I was on the HRC for several years, and I was the vice chair for 1 year on the HRC. That's it.
Welcome back. Great to have you on the commission. And planning is very important to us. And you're a great representative. And I think the next person is Commissioner Fraser.
Yes, hi, I'm,
Glasses?
how are you?
Hi, fine, how are you?
I'm good, I'm good. I'm the Section 8 tenant representative for the Community Redevelopment and Housing Commission. And I was recently appointed to the Historic Resources Commission. I've lived in Santa Ana since 2014. That's about it.
Thank you, welcome. We're so glad to have you. And then, not last but not least, okay, Commissioner Sarmiento. Hi, Farsa.
Hey, I'm Sandra Pena Sarmiento, also known as Pocha Pena, and I'm a Santa Ana native, born and raised here in East Side, and which is now known as Pacific Park. I'm also a neighborhood leader here in Pacific Park East Side, and my family's been in Santa Ana since the 1920s, when they came to work at the sugar beet plants down by Delhi. My dad worked at Disney, and that's how I got involved with the arts. He was a Disney artisan. So I'm a professional artist and a big history nerd. So I have a lot of love for Santa Ana and its historical buildings. And I was appointed by Councilwoman Mendoza. Thank you.
We're so happy to have you too on our commission. And of course, I'm Alberta Christie. I've been here since 1969. I'm a former councilwoman from 98 to 2006. I'm sorry, hold on. I'm so sorry. I didn't expect that. My mom passed away, and we have family from all over calling in. So I'm sorry, I thought I forgot. But anyway, so I've been here since 1969 and served on the council, and of course, chair of the Historic Resource Commission. I'm appointed by Phil Becerra, and representing Ward 4. Thank you all. And we're so happy to have you. And we look forward with all of you in your engagement and your questions. And we're here to help you, okay? And to assist you for our new commission members, I know when I first came on the commission, there was a lot of things that I didn't quite understand. But to assist you, I have asked staff that when we talk about or describe the different properties and their architectural design, I've asked staff to help you in their description of those features to use a pointer, so you'll understand what that particular feature looked like and what is the characteristic of that home to get this whatever classification we are going to be dealing with for that. So that's one thing. And then, unlike the other commissions, we take a little pride. We are so thankful to the homeowners that are putting their historic homes on our register. We just, we applaud. Once we approve it, we applaud them because they are helping us to preserve the history of Santa Ana. So this is why we applaud, to thank them so much for helping us to preserve that history. So that's some of the protocols that we have here on our commission. Do you have any questions for us, or me, before we begin?
Yeah, this is Commissioner Carpenter. I do have a question. I see a lot of the houses they're listed as the whatever name is. How did these names come about? Well, like the Dodd House or what have you, and just as an example.
Great question. And when the staff does the presentation, they will let you know. Okay. Okay, that's in that presentation. Okay.
Great.
Because I know you got a lot of documents, didn't you?
Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yeah. I read through most of it, but a little bit of it was kind of repetitive. So I lost some of it along the way.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one question. I'll think of others later as we go along, but thank you.
You're quite welcome. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. At this time, I'd like the secretary to please call the roll.
Okay, so can everyone hear me? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, great. So I'm going to go ahead and call roll. Commissioner Carpenter.
Yes.
Commissioner Hardy.
Present.
Commissioner Marashi.
Here.
Commissioner Schiff.
Yes.
Commissioner Pena Sarmiento.
Yes.
Commissioner Frazier.
Present.
Commissioner McLaughlin.
Here.
Vice Chair Rush.
Present.
And Chair Christie.
Here.
Chair, you have quorum.
Thank you so much. Now I'd like to invite Commission Secretary Sarah Bernal to describe the way the public can access this virtual meeting.
Thank you, Chair. This meeting is being live streamed via our portal at www.santa-ana.primegov.com/public/portal and to YouTube at youtube.com/City of Santa Ana Videos Live. If you would like to provide a public comment, you may do so in the following ways. Join the meeting via Zoom, enter meeting ID 985-956-31805. When the item that you would like to comment on is being discussed, select the hand icon to let us know that you would like to speak. You will be called upon by the name you entered. You can also call 669-900-9128 and enter meeting ID 985-956-31805. When the item that you would like to comment on is being discussed, please press *9 to let us know that you would like to speak. You will be called upon by the last 3 digits of your phone number. After you are called upon, you must press *6 to unmute yourself. You will have 3 minutes to speak. I will alert you when your time is up. Back to you, Chair.
Thank you so much. All right, now we're moving to the public comments on non-agenda items. That means they can speak on any anything that they wish to bring before the commission that's not agendized. And we cannot take any action on this. And you do have, what, 3 minutes, Sarah? Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
3 minutes to speak. So does Secretary Sarah, do we have anyone who wishes to speak on these non-agenda items?
If anyone would like to make a comment on a non-agenda item, please press the hand icon or *9 to indicate your desire to do so. We will wait a few seconds to see if we have any callers. Chair, we do not have any callers for non-agenda items.
Okay, very good. Then we like to move on to the consent calendars. And I'm going to identify what A, B, C, and D is, okay? Now, A is the approval of the minutes for October 29, 2020. So for you new commissioners, if you have read those minutes, then we would, you can vote on the approval of those minutes, okay? We do not need to excuse anybody on excused absences. Everybody's here, yay. Okay, C is a Mills Act, which is on the property at 824 North Garfield, which is in the historic French Park Neighborhood Association. And the reason why it's on the consent calendar is because it's already been through us to be placed on our roll for historic properties. They're just adding the Mills agreement, okay? And D is the certified local government 2019-2020 annual report. I want to pull that item so that staff can explain what this report is exactly. So is there any other item on here that you would like to pull in order to discuss? Hello? Okay. If not, do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar?
So moved.
Who is that?
Rush.
Okay,
No,
Commissioner
Commissioner
Rush moved. Is there a second?
Commissioner Marashi will second.
Thank you, Commissioner Marashi. Okay, okay, Sarah, would you please call the roll? This is the
Yes,
Brown Act, guys. This is the Brown Act. We all, every motion you have to voice your approval with the Zoom, okay? So we don't want to
Okay.
violate any Brown Act laws, okay? Okay, Sarah,
Thank
go
you.
ahead.
The roll call vote for consent calendars A through D. Commissioner Carpenter,
Oh, no, not D. I pulled D.
A through
For
C.
discussion.
Roll call vote for consent calendar items A through C. Commissioner Carpenter,
Having not read A, I think I have to abstain.
Correct.
Okay, just one moment. Okay, Commissioner Hardy,
Yes.
Commissioner Marashi,
Yes.
Commissioner Schiff,
Yes.
Commissioner Pena Sarmiento,
Yes.
Commissioner Frazier,
I've read the minutes, but I wasn't here for the last meeting, so I'll abstain.
thank you. Commissioner McLaughlin,
I'll abstain.
Vice Chair Rush,
Yes.
Chair Christie,
Yes.
motion passes by majority vote with Commissioners Carpenter, Frazier, and McLaughlin abstaining from consent calendar item A.
Thank you so much. Executive Director Min Tai? Hello?
Yes.
Hi, could you explain, especially on for the benefit of the new people, new commissioners, on what the this report is? The Certified Local Government 2019-2020 Annual Report. And what does it mean to be a certified local government?
Thank you, Chair Christie. This report is being presented to you for review, and once approved, we will file with the State Office of Historical Preservation. The purpose of this is to provide a look back of the last year in terms of what the city and the commission has done to further the historical preservation effort locally in the city. And it's part of the requirement of the city being a certified local government. The significance of the city being a certified local government, by the way, we've been certified since 2002, is that number one, it brings credibility to our local program when the commission take action towards preservation. Two is that we serve as a feeder into the state and the national program through the National Park Service as well as the State Office of Historical Preservation. And thirdly, it also allows the city to participate in state and national program with a focus on historical preservation, as well as maintaining our ability to receive grants that would promote and further the goal of historical preservation. So that's the significance of a certified local government, and that's the reason why we continue to provide this report. In addition to this requirement, it also requires that the members that are appointed to the commission have expertise in the areas of historic preservation, and that could be a variety of I'm sorry, a variety of background and discipline in historical preservation. Historians, architects, engineers, areas of discipline that addresses historic and culture preservation, include arts and culture as well. So by maintaining that status and reporting back, it allows the state and the federal agencies to continue to certify us as a CLG. There was a question that the chair brought up and wanted me to provide, is that, with the current makeup of our commission, are we still eligible for certification as a local government? And the answer to you, Chair, is yes. We have a multitude of discipline on our commission, including artists, educator, graphic artists. We have civil engineers. We have historians. So we are very well qualified to maintain our CLG status. And with that, we recommend that the commission forward the report, authorize staff to forward the report. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Executive Director Tai. Are there any questions from the commission or? Okay, I'm giving you an opportunity to see none. Do I have a motion to, I'm going to entertain a motion for, I'm sorry, forwarding the report, Min?
Yes, so the motion would be to adopt a resolution approving the certificate of appropriateness for, I'm sorry, to authorize staff to execute. Sarah, can you assist me? I'm on the wrong page here.
Yes, no, it's okay. The recommended action is to receive and file.
Thank you.
Yeah,
That's it?
yeah.
Okay,
Yes,
okay, very good. Do I have a motion to receive and file the Certified Local Government 2019-2020 Annual Report?
This is Janelle Hardy. I'll make a motion to receive and file the Historic Property Preservation Agreement. The City of Santa Ana Certified Local Government Annual Report 2019-2020. Is that
Thank you.
okay?
Moved by
I'll
Commissioner
second.
Hardy, second
I'll
by
second.
Vice Chair Rush. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
yes, roll call for consent calendar. Item D, Commissioner Carpenter,
Yes.
Commissioner Hardy,
Yes.
Commissioner Marashi,
Yes.
Commissioner Shipp,
Yes.
Commissioner Pena Sarmiento,
Yes.
Commissioner Frazier,
Yes.
Commissioner McLaughlin,
Yes.
Vice Chair Rush,
Yes.
Chair Christie.
Yes,
Motion passes by unanimous consent.
thank you so much. Okay, moving on to the business calendar, okay? All right, please note, the formal action by the Historic Resource Commission shall become effective after the 10th day appeal period, unless the City Council holds a public hearing on the matter. Then the formal action will become effective on the day following the hearing, and the decision by the City Council become effective by the City Council. An appeal from the decision or requirement of the commission must be filed by with the clerk of the council, and a copy sent to the planning department within 10 days of the date of the commission's action. The appeal may be made by any interested parties, individual or group. Okay, now here's the hearing protocols. I will now review the process for the public hearing so that everyone knows what is expected. A staff will provide a presentation and answer questions from the commission. The public hearing will be open. The applicant will be given an opportunity to speak, limited to 15 minutes. Members of the public will be given an opportunity to comment, limited to 3 minutes. The applicants will be given the opportunity to respond to comments made by the public, limited to 5 minutes. The public hearing will be closed. Discussion will return to the commission with a formal action taken to approve, deny, or continue review of the application. Please consider the following suggestions when you're organizing your comments. Please state your name and address, strictly voluntary. State whether you support, oppose, or a neutral to the proposal. Your statement should include all pertinent facts within your knowledge. Okay, did everybody understand that? Y'all agree? Okay, so here we go. All right, this is our first action. Item number 1, this is the time and place to consider item number 1, historic exterior modification number 2020-11 for the property located at 524 West 19th Street. Please note, discussion on this matter is final unless appealed within 10 calendar days. Before we begin, do any commissioners have anything they wish to disclose with regards to this item? Any conflict of interest or anybody? Okay. Staff will now provide a brief presentation. Staff?
Yes, just one moment, Chair Christie. Just one moment. We're having a technical issue on our end. We're working on that.
Hi, good evening, Madam Chair and Commissioners. This is Staff Member Pedro. I'll be presenting on item number 1 today. The first item for the consideration is a request to permit exterior modifications to a historic structure located at 524 West 19th Street, which is known as the Dixon House. For our new commissioners today, anytime there is a property that's listed as historic on our local register or state or national, there are limitations to what a homeowner can do as far as exterior modifications. Major exterior modifications are required to go through this process and to be reviewed and approved by the Historic Resources Commission. This property is located on the south side of West 19th Street in the Floral Park neighborhood. The Dixon House was placed on the Santa Ana Register in 2014, and it was categorized as contributive. The house has distinctive architectural features of the Craftsman bungalow style, and it was built in 1923 by W.H. Dixon. And so for Commissioner Carpenter, who asked the question about how a property gets named, as part of a review process for listing a historic structure, we looked through occupancy history or to see if there was anyone of significance or prominence who might have lived there. Oftentimes it's named after a significant person or someone who lived there a good majority of their life. In this case, W.H. Dixon was the first homeowner, and so the property was listed and named after W.H. Dixon. The Dixon House features a rectangular shaped plan and the wood clapboard siding. It's not really visible on this photo, but the house also features a broad front porch running the full length of the front elevation. The front entry features 2 tripart windows with a casement on each side of a picture window, and the gable ends have simple planked attic vents. The character-defining features of the Dixon House include the exterior wood siding, the wood windows, the fenestration or window patterns, the massing in the original front door. The proposed exterior modifications include a 358 square foot master bedroom and kitchen addition and an uncovered patio deck at the rear of the house. In order to accommodate the addition, the applicant is proposing to demolish walls along the south and west elevation, as well as remove and relocate existing windows. The next slide here provides an overview of the proposed work. Here you can see the existing site plan. And the next slide provides the proposed site plan, which highlights that all work is proposed to be located towards the rear of the property. Here you can see the proposed floor plan area. And the next couple of slides show the proposed exterior modifications along the west elevation, the east elevation, and the south elevation. No work is proposed along the front north elevation. So up on the screen now is the west right elevation. You can see that the image shows on the right-hand side that the addition is located towards the rear. And it's clearly demarcated by a line that's shown on the image. This image shows the east elevation. Again, the line running across the rear of the property shows the new addition to the left. This image shows the south elevation, so you can see that there is the addition that's being proposed towards the rear that's clearly smaller than the existing roof pitch. The proposed exterior modifications are considered a rehabilitation project, and as such were evaluated against the 10 criteria of the Secretary of Interior Standards for the treatment of historic properties. Staff determined that the project complies with the standards. The analysis found that the proposed addition would be compatible and consistent with the existing architectural elements that reflect the original style. The proposed addition is located at the rear in an area that is not readily visible from the public right-of-way. Important spatial relationships characterizing the Craftsman bungalow style will not be disturbed, as the addition is only a single-story addition positioned to the rear of the existing house, and will not alter any sort of existing roof line. The new addition will be differentiated from the old with a lower matching pitch roof, a skylight roof in the new extension, a clear-story window at the rear gable end of the bedroom extension. These features allow the addition to appear subordinate to and not overwhelm the existing massing or the size of the house, while also preserving the historic sense of the existing roof line. The materials of the new addition will also be compatible with the existing historic materials through the use of similar materials, such as the wood siding. Lastly, the new and relocated wood windows will be designed to match the existing windows on the house. Most importantly, due to the additive nature, the addition will allow for the option for it to be removed in a way that the essential form and the integrity of the house is unimpaired. With that, staff recommends that the HRC adopt a resolution to approve a certificate of appropriateness for historic exterior modification application number 2020-11. That concludes staff's presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Thank you, Pedro. Does any of the commissioners have any questions of staff?
Yes, this is Commissioner Carpenter. This home is currently on the historic register, is that correct?
That's correct, Commissioner.
Thank you. And you said they're going to have windows made that replicate what's up in the front?
The windows will be compatible with the existing windows. There might be a slight variation among maybe a sill height or wood trim to kind of clearly distinguish from the new and the old. But as I understand it, the proposal is to preserve as many of the windows as possible to reuse them. And in the case that they wouldn't be preserved, the new windows would match the existing.
Gotcha. And you said there'd be a window instead of a gable vent, is that correct?
Clear story window, correct.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Carpenter. Anyone else?
Rush?
Okay, Commissioner Rush.
Could you switch back the visual of the plot plan? How much of the rear yard will be taken up by this?
Is this the image, Commissioner Rush, that you were looking for?
I guess. So there will still be a reasonable amount of rear yard left.
Correct. I'm not sure I'm not sure if you're able to see the mouse. Okay, so this is the rear yard of that existing property. So all of this will be retained as a backyard.
Oh, I see. Okay.
This is the addition, yeah.
Yeah. No problem.
Anyone else? Commissioner Carpenter?
What is currently where the new addition is? Is that concrete or is that yard or what is it? Well, that is concrete.
You know what? It's a good question. We might want to ask our property owner, but my guess is that it's just yard. If anything, there might be some flat work like concrete for a walkway that kind of leads into the driveway a little bit.
Yeah, it looks like there's some flat work there coming off the garage. I assume that's a garage up front there. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Yeah, it looks like that's flat work right there where that dotted line is. So they're really not taking much of the yard, are they? They're really just kind of moving their patio over behind the garage, correct?
That's correct. You can see the difference between the existing site plan and then the proposed. I think at most maybe 18 feet towards the rear is the extension of that addition. That's to accommodate the master bedroom and then additional areas for the nook.
Got it. Excellent. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Any other questions for staff? Okay, then we'll move right along. Madam Secretary, do we have any written communication?
We have not received any written communication on this item.
Okay, and with that, I now declare the public hearing is now open. You heard that, right? That's supposed to be the gavel of opening. Okay. I don't know if the applicant is on, has joined us or not. Would the applicant like to speak? Back to
Applicant,
you.
are you on the line? Chris Klein?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, my name is Matthew McGrain. I am the applicant designer for the property. Chris Cecil, who is the homeowner, is also on the call, so we can loop him in if we need to talk about any sort of conditions of approval. The presentation was absolutely perfect. If you guys have any questions with regards to the design intent, I'd be happy to respond, but I think that the presentation provided by staff was great. Thank you very much.
This is Commissioner Carpenter. I do have a question.
Okay, Commissioner Carpenter.
Why did they feel the need for an additional kitchen? Or is it just a nook for the existing kitchen? I couldn't really see the drawing that well.
Sure. So let's go back to the floor plan if we don't mind. So the existing layout, which the presentation doesn't show, actually has kind of a smaller kitchen that's rotated with a laundry room mixed in. It was kind of an amalgamation of a couple different renovations that happened in the past. So there was just some really bad flow issues with that area. The intention for pushing out that back is we're really trying to connect kind of the front main living parts of the house to the backyard. Currently, the existing house basically closes itself off, and we feel like this design intent really allows kind of an indoor-outdoor living experience for the client.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the commissioner?
I have a comment, Chair Christie.
Okay, Commissioner Hardy.
Actually, I have a question. I'm curious, I can't tell by the plan how they're going to deal with the cellar access that's at the rear of the property.
Would you mind repeating that? It wasn't quite clear.
Do you have access to the cellar or the basement under the house?
Yes. So currently, if you don't mind switching to the existing plan for a moment, the site plan. Okay, what you'll see is there's a floor hatch in that area, kind of adjacent or in between the two buildings. And what we've done is we've actually included a hatch in that nook area to allow access into that subterranean space still. So if we compare that drawing to the proposed floor plan, you'll see that it ends up landing right inside of that nook.
Great, thank you.
Thank you for using the pointer because I was kind of looking at it myself and everything, but thanks, staff, because we really need the pointers on here, okay? Any other commissions have any questions for staff? Okay. Therefore, are there anyone on, we will now take phone comments from the public. Madam Secretary, do we have any members of the public that would like to comment?
If you'd like to speak on this item, please select the hand icon to indicate your desire to speak, or press *9 if you are calling in. I see one hand is raised. Oh, that was Matthew McGrain. That was the applicant, so he's already spoken. We'll wait about 10 seconds to see if we have any callers. Chair, we do not have any speakers.
Okay, thank you so much, okay? I now declare the public hearing closed. You heard that, it's closed now, okay? Okay, does the commission have any final questions of staff? If not, then moving on, I'd like to entertain a motion to adopt a resolution approving a certificate of appropriateness for historic exterior modification application number 2020-11. Do I have somebody to move?
Make the motion.
Okay, that's Vice Chair Rush.
I'll second that motion.
Who was the second? I'm sorry.
Carpenter.
Commissioner Carpenter, thank you. Moved by Commissioner Vice Chair Rush and second by Commissioner Carpenter. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Roll call vote for item number 1. Commissioner Carpenter?
Approve.
Commissioner Hardy?
Yes.
Commissioner Marashi?
Yes.
Commissioner Shipp?
Approved.
Commissioner Peña Sarmiento?
Yes.
Commissioner Frazier? Commissioner Frazier? Oh, you're on mute. We just need a voice.
Abstain.
Abstain?
Yes.
Can you please state your reason for the abstention? We do need to have that for the record.
As I'm new to the commission, I haven't familiarized myself with all of the policies and the procedures, and I don't feel comfortable rendering a decision on this.
City Attorney Funk, would that be okay to abstain? You're muted.
I'm sorry, could you repeat that once again?
The abstention for not reviewing the documents, I can go ahead and mark that as an abstention. That would be appropriate for this item.
Yes, and what is the total vote tally?
Right now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 5 in favor.
Yes, you may proceed.
Thank you. Commissioner McLaughlin,
Aye.
Vice Chair Rush,
Yes.
Chair Christie.
Yes.
Motion passes by a majority vote with Commissioner Frazier abstaining.
Congratulations. Come on, everybody. Let's give them a hand. Come on, everybody. Let's pause. Yay. Okay. Okay. Congratulations to the applicant. Okay. Moving right along. This is the time and place to consider item number 2, Historic Resource Commission application number 2020-09, Historic Register categorization number 2020-08, and a Historic Property Preservation Agreement number 2020-11 for the property located at 2042 North Victoria Drive. Okay, please note Decision on this matter is final unless appealed within 10 days. Before we begin, do any commissioners have anything they wish to disclose in regards to this item? I do. I drove by the property, got out and reviewed. I did not speak to anyone, but I did get out of my car. Let me make sure. Oh, no. I did talk to Mr. Andrus Matson, okay, about and thanked him for his patience with us because of the fact that we needed to clarify whether this was a minimal architectural minimal transition or another one that came about on here, a Monterey architectural style. So we needed some more information as what style it was in. So I had a delightful conversation with Mr. Maxon and thanked him for his patience once we got this clarification and that showed us the difference between the two. Okay, anyone else?
I did drive to the property and then got out and then walked around, inspected it, and I did meet the owner as well.
Anyone else? Okay, let's move on. Okay, the staff now will provide a brief presentation.
Thank you again, Madam Chair. Before we move on to the next item number 2, I wanted to take a second to provide a breakdown of the categorizations that we'll be seeing on tonight's agenda. This is as a refresher and as a benefit to our new commissioners. On the screen, you'll see the contributive category. In order for a property to be categorized as contributive, it must contribute to the overall character and the history of a neighborhood or district and be a good example of period architecture. So contributive is one of 3 categorizations that we have in our code. In order for a property to be categorized as key, it must have distinctive architectural style and quality or be a characteristic of a significant period in the history of the city or be associated with a significant person or event in the city. So these 2 categorizations will be seen in today's public hearing. Agenda item number 2 is a continued public hearing for the property address as 2042 North Victoria Drive. On October 29th, 2020, the HRC held a public hearing to discuss the placement of 2042 North Victoria onto the Santa Ana Register of Historical Properties and to execute a Historic Property Preservation Agreement, or MILS Act. At this public staff's recommendation regarding the architectural style of minimal traditional. Specifically, the HRC felt that the architectural style would be better identified as Monterey architectural style. Therefore, the HRC continued the item to afford city staff time to affirm the most appropriate style with the city's historic consultant. The consultant's analysis indicated that the structure's architectural style is in fact minimal traditional based on its character-defining elements. As mentioned, the Hamilton Shupert House is a minimal traditional house which was constructed in 1956. It is recommended that the property be listed on the register and categorized as contributive for the distinguishing characteristics of the minimal traditional style dating from the second period of development of the North Victoria Drive area. Additionally, the house has been categorized as contributive because it contributes to the overall character and history of Santa Ana, and as an early and intact example of the minimal traditional style in Floral Park neighborhood, it is a good example of period architecture. Character-defining features of the Hamilton Shupert House that should be preserved include, but may not be limited to, the materials and finishes such as the brick, stucco, the horizontal wood board siding, which can be seen on the gable ends here. the gable and wing roof design with the wide overhanging open eaves, the brick chimney, the wood porch supports, and the divided light metal windows. Staff recommends that the HRC approve the resolution to place the property on the historic register by approving HRC A 2020-09, HRC 2020-08, and recommend City Council authorization of Historic Property Preservation Agreement 2020-11. That concludes staff's report. I'd be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Thank you so much. Does any commissioner have any questions of staff?
Yeah.
I do. Okay, well, Commissioner Carpenter, go ahead.
Thank you. How many other houses are in the neighborhood that are of similar architecture? Or is this unique?
Thank you, Commissioner. I can't recall exactly how many are minimal traditional, but it's certainly not unique. The minimal traditional style home is found in Floral Park, not just on Victoria Street, but on other streets as well. It was common during this time.
Would this be considered, lack of a better term, a tract style home?
The minimal traditional style homes do have some origins in like the tract development, being as they were cheaper to develop and they were in high demand after World War II. So there are some elements to that are reflective of like a tract home, but this one specifically has certain features like the wood clapboard siding, the brick that kind of make it a little bit of a, I guess, more significant structure than just a typical tract style home.
Thank you.
Okay. Pedro, I have a question. I know that last year we had in-depth discussion on the different, on whether it's minimal, traditional, or Monterey. Using this, okay, could you tell us the difference between Monterey style and the minimal by pointing to the features on the house that made this minimal traditional as opposed to Monterey, if you can?
Sure.
Could you use the pointer, please?
Sure. Give me 1 second, Chair. I did want to point to the staff report. The staff report does provide a kind of in-depth analysis of the consultant's architectural assessment. The staff report does kind of provide a little bit of a breakdown between the minimal traditional and the Monterey, including its kind of origins. But really the biggest takeaway of the analysis was that there is no trace of Spanish colonial revival style in this specific home, which typically indicates kind of a Monterey revival style. So that was kind of one of the biggest contributing factors as to kind of why the consultant affirmed their position as this being a minimal traditional home. So I think one of the biggest concerns that was identified at the last meeting was the fact that there's a second story kind of about, give me 1 second here. Second story, I apologize, the mouse is fairly sensitive. There's a second story component that's reflective of what some might think it would be kind of a Monterey style. But this is actually something that is not necessarily common, but it is found in some minimal traditional homes. You'll see a lot of minimal traditional homes that are single story, but you do find 2-story minimal traditional homes. So that kind of just affirms the kind of position that the consultant had on the style for this one. Chair, please let me know if you'd like some additional information.
No, I just wanted to, as an educational point to the commissioners, you know, as we go through this, then we had this lengthy discussion. So what makes this Monterey? What makes this not Monterey, but a traditional? And pointing out with the picture as to the conclusion that this is a minimal traditional and not Monterey, for the benefit of our commissioners here. And thank you for doing that. Okay. Are there any other questions from the commission? Okay, we'll move right along. Madam Secretary, have we received any written communications?
We have not received any written communication on this item.
Okay, then with that, I now declare that the public hearing is now open. Would the applicant like to speak on the matter, this matter? The applicant on?
Applicant, if you're on the line.
Commissioner Christie, can you hear me?
Okay, yes, there you go. Okay.
Fantastic. Well, good afternoon, Commissioner Christie, Vice Chair Rush, members of the commission. My name is Andres Matskin. I'm actually one of the homeowners. I'm standing here next to my lovely wife, Linda Matskin, and we're excited to come back in front of the commission to really talk about this lovely home. I mean, it's an amazing home built in 1956. We're absolutely excited to preserve the history of Santa Ana. We have been Santa Ana residents for over 23 years. We absolutely love the city and love to continue to be part of the history of the city. And I think this gets us closer to that as well, to really be part of that history. So, I wanted to address also something that Commissioner Carpenter mentioned regarding the naming of it, and we're proud of the name that we chosen for this house, being the Hamilton Chopper House, being really the two original owners of the home. We thought it'd be kind of a great way to really support these two key individuals who really lived through this house and have some amazing memories through the house. So we absolutely thought that was very appropriate. So we're here to answer any questions you may have. We appreciate your time and your support on this project.
Thank you, Andres. And once again, thank you. It was a pleasure meeting you on Saturday and so forth. And once again, thank you for your patience with us. Okay. It
may be Pedro, it may be somebody else in staff, but at least it would give you the ability.
I'm sorry, what's going on? What's going on? What happened?
I think someone needed to mute the background, but I think they ended up doing that.
Oh, okay. Okay, about that. All right. Okay, and does the commission have any comments or questions to the applicant?
Yeah, Commissioner Carpenter. Besides the several features of the wood gables or the wood siding on the gables and the metal frame windows on the front of the house, and being a second story, what really makes this house special?
Commissioner Carpenter, thank you for the question. I really truly think that the absolute history associated with this house, from specific folks who really lived in it. Well, I think going back to the original owners, again, folks that truly served in the Marine Corps, which I thought it was very interesting to have kind of the connection between both folks as part of the owners itself. But also, I really think that it has a history from, back in the late 50s. It was a little shed added on to the house. And that was used by the second owner, Mr. Schofer, who truly was dedicated to the agriculture and one of the pioneers on strawberry farms. So he used that little shed that was built to really kind of do the seeds of growing the strawberries from start and so forth. It was actually amazing. I mean, it has an absolutely great bones. The house itself, with some really, I think when you look at some of the brickwork that was done at the house, I think that's also kind of unique. Kind of a unique brick structure that was used for it. So I think that's kind of unique. You don't see that in the neighborhoods. Kind of that style of how it was used, how it's cladded and the type of brick actually that was used as well for the house. So I found that amazing, as well as these wonderful steel windows that we love to preserve, and you see that so often, many of those windows being replaced, and we love the windows, and we will continue to have those windows because I think that adds a lot of character to the uniqueness of the house.
Thank you.
Any other questions from the commissioner to the applicant? If not, thank you so much, Andres. Okay. We will now take phone comments from the public. Madam Secretary, do we have any member of the public that would like to comment?
If you'd like to comment on this item, please press the hand icon if you are participating via Zoom, or press *9 if you are calling in. We'll wait about 10 seconds.
The setback between your wall and the wall, and the building.
Is there somebody that needs to be muted? Hello? For the background?
Yes, I'm going to see who that is, and then I will place them on mute. Chair, we do not have any callers for this item.
Okay. With that response, I now declare the public hearing is now closed. Okay. Do the commission have any final questions of staff?
Commissioner Frazier.
I'm sorry, who was it? Okay,
Commissioner
Commissioner Frazier. Okay, there you go.
I was curious, how much representation of this particular style do we have in Santa Ana already on the register?
Thank you, Commissioner. I actually don't have that information for you today, but we can certainly try to find that out for additional time.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. And with that, we will now.
Madam Chair, I had raised my hand. This is.
Oh, I'm sorry, Commissioner Rush.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
In answer to Commissioner, is it Frazier? That's your
Frazier.
I can tell you that the minimal traditional style, that there's not a huge number of them in town. We do have some others in various neighborhoods, both Floral Park and several other neighborhoods that have them. They tend to more often be one-story homes than two. This style, I think, also our staff person, Pedro, could probably comment that there's a striking similarity to what might be called the ranch style as well. This was certainly in the time period where that was popular. This house does not lend itself to a photograph so far from the street. When you get up close to it, then you begin to really appreciate the simple lines and the design of the home. Those steel casement windows are quite lovely. And I'm glad that the homeowners have retained them, because a lot of people tear them out and replace them. But it's the minimal traditional style is not hugely represented throughout town, but there are other examples of it that are on the register. I couldn't tell you how many either, but it's not nearly as common as like the Spanish colonial or Tudor style, or some of those that are very, very popular in town. So that does make it a bit unique.
All right, thank you very much.
Any other questions? Okay, and with that.
No, I have my hand up, Commissioner Carpenter.
Oh, thank you.
Um, I agree with Commissioner Rush. The pictures are really make it tough to see, and I can understand why you drove by there. Is there any way we could continue this where we could have some better pictures? Because that one from the curb, quite frankly, apparently doesn't do the house justice. And the angle it's taken in doesn't even give you a full frontal view. So with that, is it possible to continue that, or do we need to vote today?
Can I just say something? We have continued this from last year.
Understood.
And the homeowner has been very, very patient, okay? Because of the continuation, he missed out in December of getting this on the register, okay? And getting the added benefits for that. And
No,
that's
understood.
why we go out, you know, when we have our board packages and so forth, and then we go out and look at the property, because I agree with you, pictures are not. And then two, one I remember from last year that I really was upset with was that one that just showed the side, and when I went out to see it, it had all kind of foliage and landscaping that blocked the view corridor. The view corridor is one that you have to, you can see from the street. You couldn't see that. So that's why, you know, when you get your board package, that some of us make it to go out and see to make sure that what we're seeing the picture of actually match, or, you know, the condition and everything else, because let's just face it, people want to get the best picture, you know, of their property. So on this, and I'm saying that as patient as the applicant, but to delay this any longer for them is something that I would be opposed to
Understood.
right now.
Understood. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Okay. And with that, I would like to entertain a motion to, one, adopt a resolution approving Historic Resource Commission application 2020-09 and Historic Register categorization number 2020-08. Oh, thank you, staff. I recommend that the City Council authorize the city manager and clerk of the council to execute a Mills Act, the attached Mills Act agreement with Andres and Linda Matzkin, subject to non-substantive changes approved by the city manager and city attorney. Do I have a maker? Do I have?
I'll be happy. This is Commissioner Hardy. Chair Christie, I'll be happy to make the motion as you read.
Okay. Okay. I see moved by Commissioner Hardy, second by Vice Chair Rush. Although, Madam Secretary, please call the roll. Did we freeze? Did we lose? Sarah?
Sarah's on mute.
Technology, right? Did we lose them?
Maybe.
Can't hear you, Sarah.
think of this as a seventh inning stretch at the baseball game, right?
Uh-oh.
Min, is she having she's having problems, right? Is she, does she
She's
have,
signaling for 1 second, so. Sarah, would you like me to read the staff recommendations?
Unmute yourself. Testing. Testing. I did. Testing. Testing. I have to mute something. Oh, this. Testing. Testing. Why can't they hear me?
We can hear you, Sarah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes,
yeah.
Yes.
for the
Okay,
echo.
thank you. Is there
Sarah, would you like for me to reread? I don't know if you got the recording of the motion.
I do have.
Can't hear you.
How about now? Yes? Okay. I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what happened. We're having a little bit of echo on my end, but if you don't hear a feedback, then I guess I'll proceed.
We do hear feedback.
You do hear
feedback. What happens if you mute that? It's muted. Okay. One quick second. I'm going to check one last thing.
let me see if I can take over the meeting for Sarah while they're going through the technical difficulties. I believe are we at roll call, Chair?
Yes. Ooh.
So let me call out the roll.
I don't know, did you have,
So the motion
did the
was,
motion get recorded? I mean, did the reading of the motion with this,
so the
with the
staff,
maker?
the staff recommendation and the motion was to adopt the resolution approving HRCA 2020-09 and HRC 2020-08 and recommending City Council authorization of HPPA 2020-11.
HPPA,
HPPA,
what does that stand for?
that is the, is that the agreement?
Well, okay, let me read what we have here on our package of what the staff recommend action. Adopt a resolution approving Historic Resource Commission application 2020-09 and Historic Register categorization number 2020-08. Recommend that the City Council authorize the city manager and city clerk of the council to execute the attached Mills Act agreement with Andres and Linda Malkin, subject to non-substantive changes approved by the city manager and city attorney. And that was moved by, okay. Janelle, you want to go ahead and move it again?
Like to move the motion as read by Chair Christie.
And second by Vice Chair Rush.
Yes.
Okay. And with that, Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll?
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes.
We can hear you now.
Great, okay. We didn't touch anything, so we're not sure what happened, but I'm glad we're back up. I will do a roll call vote for item number 2 as read by Chair Christie. Commissioner Carpenter.
I'm going to abstain for the reasons I stated earlier. The pictures don't do the House justice, and I would feel misgiving if I did vote on it.
Commissioner Hardy.
Yes.
Commissioner Marashi.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiff.
Yes.
Commissioner Pena Sarmiento.
Yes.
Commissioner Frazier.
I agree with Commissioner Carpenter. I will abstain.
Commissioner McLaughlin. Commissioner McLaughlin, you are on mute.
Yes.
Thank you. Vice Chair Rush
Yes.
and Chair Christie.
Yes.
Motion passes by a majority vote with Commissioners Carpenter and Frazier abstaining.
Thank you, Andres and Linda Malkin. Yay! Let's give them a hand, everybody. Thumbs up. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Hello, commissioners. This is John Funk, counsel to the commission. I just, if I may, wanted to clarify the procedure regarding abstention, if you will. You may be aware that the bylaws of the commission do permit any commissioner to abstain from a vote. Ordinarily, however, the abstention means the commissioner does not partake in the discussion or the debate of the item. To the extent a commissioner continues to participate in the debate or the discussion on an item, it would not be consistent with an abstention on that item. I just wanted to point that out going forward.
This is Commissioner Carpenter. Do we need to recall the vote then?
Your abstention is noted. In this instance, will not impact the item itself, but going, I would just recommend that any commissioner who does intend to abstain from the vote refrain from participating in the debate and the deliberation on that item as well.
Excellent. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, Madam Secretary. Okay. We can move
Yes,
forward.
item number 3. Yes, please, item number 3. Yes, please, item number 3.
Item number 3. Okay, this is the time and place to consider item number 3, Historic Resource Commission application number 2021-01, Historic Register Categorization number 2021-01, and Historic Property Preservation Agreement number 2021-01 for the property located at 2014 North Flower Street. Please note, decision on this matter is final unless appealed within 10 calendar days. Before we begin, do any commissioners have anything they wish to disclose with regards to this item? I do. I stopped by the property. I did not speak to the owners, but I did stop by the property and reviewed their submission of the application. Anyone else? Sarah, I can't see anybody. Well, hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, now I can see. Okay. Okay, anybody else on disclosure? No? Okay. All right. Now, staff, will you now provide a brief presentation?
Thank you, Madam Chair. The third item on tonight's agenda is a request to place the property address as 2014 North Flower Street on the Santa Ana Register of Historical Properties and to execute a Mills Act agreement with the property owner. This is actually a great segue because this is also a minimal traditional home. It's an example and a single-story design. So, as mentioned, the Witt House is a minimal traditional house constructed in 1941. It is recommended that the property be listed on the register and categorized as contributive for the embodiment of the distinguishing characteristics of the minimal traditional style with colonial revival detailing dating from the year just prior to World War II. Additionally, the house has been categorized as contributive because it contributes to the overall character and history of Floral Park and is a good example of period architecture representing the minimal traditional architectural style in Santa Ana. Character-defining features of the Witt House that should be preserved include, but may not be limited to, the sheathing or the stucco and clapboard siding at the gable end, the roof configuration, the massing, the original fenestration or window pattern, the porch, the chimney, and architectural details such as the shutters, the prominent brick chimney, and accent brick material at the front entry. So you can see a lot of those with this image on the screen. The wood clapboard siding on the gable ends here, the prominent brick chimney, the shutters, and then the wood windows. With that, staff recommends that the HRC adopt a resolution to approve HRCA 2021-01 and HRC 2021-01 and recommend City Council authorization of HPPA 2021-01. That concludes staff's presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions that the commission might have.
Does anyone have any questions of staff at this time? Is anybody? I'm sorry, I have to scroll down all these things to make sure. Okay, we don't have anything. Okay. Any questions, anybody? No? Okay. With that, Madam Secretary, do we have any written communications?
We do not have any written communication on this item.
Okay, thank you. With that, the public hearing is now open. Knock, knock, knock. Would the applicant like to speak on this matter? Do we have the applicant?
Hi, I'm
Chad Barker.
Hi, Mr. Barker. How are you doing?
Hi, good evening, everybody. Thanks for your time and attention. Doing well. Feeling pretty lucky and honored to be custodian of such a pretty historic property. Lived in Santa Ana for 10 years in the downtown lofts, and COVID's been an interesting year, but managed to get kind of a dream home here. So happy to be here and feel real lucky that it's also Mills Act eligible property. Kind of interesting tie-in. My old neighbors in the downtown lofts purchased the Dixon House. And so that was item number one tonight. So been through with them and then getting that. And I know the new people own the Dixon House now, but yeah, been here a while and look forward to being here for quite a long time. And one of the interesting things on our house and the property is the windows are original still. And a previous owner painted them in. I suspect that they're double hung. We're going to take on the project of doing those one at a time and taking them apart and getting them back to being super original looking and making them operational for being open from the top and the bottom. So thanks again, everybody.
Thank you so much, Mr. Barker. Okay. Does any commissioner have any questions of the or comments for the applicant?
Are you going to do that work yourself?
Yeah, I am going to do that myself. I have a friend that has been working these types of windows at another property. So he's got it down to quite a science where he thinks we could start and complete one window per day. There are 11 full-size windows and 2 bathroom windows, and then 2 other smaller kitchen and bath windows. But yeah, the long answer to the question is yes.
I live right up the street from you, and the same thing happened to my house when I bought it. So I know what you're going through.
Yeah, I think we've met a time or two. There's quite a few people here that over the years of being a Santa Ana resident, I've met. So thank you.
Luck.
Anyone else have any questions of the applicant?
Yeah, Commissioner Carpenter, just a comment. Those windows can be a challenge. I have an old Better Homes and Garden book that tells you how to do all that stuff. So if you need any help with that, I'd be more than willing to make copies of it and let you use it.
Oh, I would love to have pre-planning notes. I definitely love to read instructions. That's funny. Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I'll look it up for you. You're welcome.
Old Homes and Gardens. You hold on to that. That's historic right there.
It was my father's. Yeah, he gave it to me. So yeah, it's I believe it's from the 50s.
Wow, you hold on to that.
It's a great book. It's amazing. There's so many good tips in it, right? I mean, it's a really good resource. I'm glad I have it.
And good construction back in those days too, right?
Very much.
They knew how to do it right. That's our okay. Anyone else from the commission? I see Council Zoom. What is that? Okay. Okay.
That's me, Chair.
Okay, no problem. Oh, that's on there. Okay. Okay, Madam Secretary, we will now take phone comments from the public. Do we have any members of the public that would like to comment?
If you'd like to speak on this item, please select the hand icon to raise your hand if you are participating via Zoom, or press *9 if you are participating by phone. We'll wait a few seconds to see if we have any callers. Chair Christie, we do not have any callers.
Thank you so much. And with that, I now declare this public hearing closed. Knock, knock. Okay. Does the commission have any final questions of staff? Okay, if not, then I'd like to entertain a motion to adopt a resolution approving the Historic Resource Commission application number 2021-01 and the Historic Register categorization number 2021-01. Recommend that the City Council authorize the city manager and clerk of the council to execute the attached Mills Act agreement with Chad Baker, subject to non-substantive changes approved by the city manager and city attorney. Do I have a maker? Okay, I'm going to call. Commissioner Marashi, would you move that?
I move that we adopt a resolution to approve HRCA 2021-01 and HRC 2021-01 and recommend City Council authorize HCPA 2021-01.
Okay, move by. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, seconded by Vice Chair Rush. Madam Secretary, call the roll, please.
Yes, roll call vote for item number 3, Commissioner Carpenter,
Approve.
Commissioner Hardy, Commissioner Hardy,
Sorry, I'm sorry. I was muted. Yes, yes.
okay, thank you. Commissioner Marashi,
Yes.
Commissioner Shipp,
Approved.
Commissioner Pena Sarmiento,
Yes.
Commissioner Frazier,
Approved.
Commissioner McLaughlin,
Aye.
Vice Chair Rush,
Yes.
and Chair Christie.
Yes.
Motion passes by unanimous consent.
Well, congratulations, Mr. Barker. Woo! Way to go. Okay, we really appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody.
Sandra, I love your flowers. Maybe I can get flowers. Pom-poms. Woo! Maybe that's what we need, you know, everybody buy pom-poms. Okay. This is the time and place for considered item number 4, Historic Resource Commission application number 2021-14, Historic Register categorization number 2021-14, and Historic Property Preservation Agreement number 2021-20 for the property located at. Somebody need to be muted? Hello? With background? Okay. Property located at 520 West 19th Street. Please note, decision on this matter is final unless appealed within 10 calendar days. Before we begin, do we have any commissioners who have anything they wish to disclose with regards to this item? If not,
Commissioner Rush?
Oh, Commissioner Rush, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Vice Chair Rush.
I did go out to the property the other day and to inspect it, and I did talk to the owner, and so anyway.
Okay, anyone else? Okay. Sorry, guys. I have one of those portable Zoom cameras. And so sorry, I keep adjusting because it keeps looking down at the whole thing. Okay. Anyone else? I'm sorry. On the sculpture. No? Okay. With that, staff will now provide a brief presentation.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next property for listing and Mills Act consideration is the Elwood Bear House, located on 520 West 19th Street within the Floral Park neighborhood. The Elwood Bear House is a Spanish colonial revival style house constructed in 1923. It is recommended that the property be listed on the register and categorized as key as a very intact and well-documented example of a Spanish colonial revival bungalow in Santa Ana. Additionally, the house has been categorized as key because it has a distinctive architectural style and quality as an example of the Spanish colonial revival style in Santa Ana, exhibiting distinctive features such as the Palladian influence treatments of the facade windows, the unusual shingle tile roof, and the front patio enclosure.
Excuse me, Pedro, could you please use the pointer to point out these distinctives, especially since it's key?
Yes, sure. The Palladian influence treatments of the facade windows refer to this tripart window here. It's hard to see on this photo, but there are kind of a spiral kind of design that is in between each one of those windows. And so that's what that Palladian influence treatment refers to. The unusual shingle tile roof is in reference to the front half of the property being kind of a, give me 1 second here, composition shingle roofing, and the back half being kind of a flat roof design. And then the front patio enclosure refers to kind of the front here, the low wall. Character defining features of the Elwood Bear House that should be preserved include but may not be limited to the materials and finishes such as the stucco, the unusual shingle tile roof configuration, materials and treatment of the clay barrel tile and coping towards the back on the flat roof portion, the massing and composition, again, the Palladian influence treatments of the facade, the fenestration of the windows, the front patio enclosure, the waist high wall, and then the terracotta tile pavers that can't really be seen on this photo, and then the original exterior lighting and lighting bracket. With that, staff recommends that the HRC adopt the resolution to approve HRCA 2021-14 and HRC 2021-14, and recommend that the City Council authorize HPPA 2021-20. That concludes staff's presentation. I'd be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Thank you, Pedro. Do any of the commission have any questions of staff? I'm sorry, hold on. I gotta scroll down to see if I have any hands raised or, okay, doesn't look like, okay. Once again, any questions from the commissioners? Okay, if not, Madam Secretary, do we have any written communications?
We have not received any written communication.
Okay, and with that, the public hearing is now open. Knock, knock, knock. Maybe I should have a sign that says, we're now open. Okay. Would the applicant like to speak on this matter?
The Connie or Robert Johan.
Connie or Robert, I believe I saw them enter the chat. Robert, you may go ahead and address the commission. Robert, please press *6. I do see he is unmuted and on the line, but we are not receiving a response for him. If you want to wait a few seconds, or you can continue, Chair. Robert, if you are on the line and you'd like to address the commission, please do so now. I see he, I believe he left the chat. Just one moment, let me confirm, please. Yes, it looks like he did leave the meeting. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or trying to connect. We'll give him just a brief moment to see if he calls back in, Chair.
Okay, why don't we move on? And if he does connect, Madam Secretary, would you please let us know and we'll get him back in, okay?
Sure, sure.
Okay. Well, we can't do questions of the applicant, can we?
Public comments. I can call for public comment.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah,
If you'd like to
phone
speak on this matter, please select the hand icon if you are participating via Zoom, or press *9 if you are calling in. We'll wait a few seconds. We do not have any speakers, Chair. And just an FYI, we are reaching out to the homeowner on our end here.
Oh, no, is he trying to connect back?
Is he on, Sarah?
Yes, just Pedro speaking with the homeowner.
She's trying to figure out how to log on.
Okay. We're going to try to see if we can get her on using our speakerphone.
Okay.
Just one moment. We'll see if this works.
Connie on the line.
Connie, can you go ahead and start address the commission now? We're going to see if they can hear you.
Yes, this is Connie Yoakum. Do you hear me?
Yes.
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 Yes, Connie, they can hear you.
Okay, great. This is Connie Yoakum. Oh dear. Hello?
Yes, they can hear you. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, it's a little delayed, but I'm going to go ahead. I'm so sorry. We had a problem getting on. We are watching, and as you can see, this is an adorable home, and we're so excited to preserve it. We have a lot to do on the home, but we are more than thrilled to be living in this little bungalow, and it's just a little gem of the neighborhood.
Thank you, Connie.
Okay. Thank you, Connie. We really appreciate it with your comments, and sorry that you had such technical difficulties with us, and so forth.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
One of these days we'll be back in the council chambers, and we will laugh at all of this. We'll keep it as a historical point of.
Do I need to say any more?
No, thank you, Connie, for your comments. Unless the commission has any questions.
Connie, hold on, please, in case any of the commissioners have any questions for you. Okay. All right. Any?
Okay. Thank you,
Connie. Any commissioner have any question for the applicant? No? No? Okay. All right. With that, we'll now say that the public hearing is now closed. Yeah, okay. And does any commission have any final questions of staff? No? Okay, then let's move on to the motion. Okay. I'm going to read the motion that I have on my paper here. I'm going to move that we adopt a resolution approving Historic Resource Commission application number 2021-14 and Historic Register categorization number 2021-14. Recommend that the City Council authorize City Manager and the Clerk of the City Council to execute the attached Mills Act agreement with Robert M. and Connie J. Yocum, subject to non-substantive changes approved by the city manager and city attorney. Okay, I'm moving that. Is there a second?
I'll second. Chair Christie, this is
Okay.
Commissioner Hardy.
Thank you, Janelle. Moved by me, the chair, and second by Commissioner Hardy. Would you, Madam Secretary, please call the roll?
Yes, roll call vote for item number 4. Commissioner Carpenter,
Approve.
Commissioner Hardy,
Yes.
Commissioner Marashi,
Yes.
Commissioner Shipp,
Yes.
Commissioner Pena Sarmiento,
Yes.
Commissioner Frazier,
Approve.
Commissioner McLaughlin,
Aye.
Vice Chair Rush,
Yes.
Chair Christie.
Yes.
Motion passes by unanimous consent.
Thank you. Welcome. Yay. Let's go ahead. Congratulations. Woo!
You know, can I make a quick comment there, Chair Christie?
Commissioner Marashi, go ahead.
You know, one of the things I wanted to comment was before we took the motion was the in June 16th of 1923, they had a full-page ad on this house, and that was mentioned in the write-up here at the city put together. And what was interesting was it described the house in immaculate detail, and what they did was they furnished it and everything else, and all that detail is in this article. And at the bottom half of the article is all the ads for all the different people that contributed to it. So for example, here's an ad that says, "We did the plastering in the Bear home. Builders who demand the best work generally turn to the plastering jobs over to the Philippe brothers." So it's a really neat full page that talks about the home and all the businesses that contributed to it. And I will get the homeowner a copy of this ad. I'm sure they'll appreciate having a copy of it. It's a neat write-up.
Would you also send it to Pedro?
I sent it to Sarah, and maybe we can get it in the meeting minutes. I don't know. But
Right.
You know, here, I'm gonna see. I think I can do a. That's the stuff. So yes, I'm gonna do a share screen of what Commissioner Marashi sent over to us. Let's see here. Can you guys see this? There we go.
Yes.
This is what he sent over.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Boy, they took pride in their work, didn't they, back in those days? I'll tell you. Look at that. That is so great. Yeah, if we can include that in the documentation for this property, especially since it's key, that would really tell the story of this, of the history of this home. That looks great. And so forth. Thank you, Commissioner Marashi, for that. Thank you so much for doing that research. Okay. Oh my God, I can see you all. How about that? Hi, guys. All right, now that's the end of the business calendar. Now we're moving on to staff comments. Staff, do you have any comments?
Thank you, Chair. I just want to say welcome to our new commission. I know I've spoken to you before, but I want to say at this meeting, welcome, and I look forward to working with each one of you. I know I didn't get to meet with Commissioner Shipp, so this is the first time meeting you. Welcome. That's it. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you. And now moving on, this is where you as commission, your comments, and I'm going to start. Commissioner Carpenter, please.
Well, first I'd like to thank everybody for being here. You know, this really gives me a lot of hope for the city of Santa Ana to see what these residents are doing and the homes that are out there. A lot of these homes are absolutely beautiful and gives me hope for the city. And I'm very happy to be here, and thank you very much.
We weren't too overbearing with you on the commission, right?
Oh, hell no. No, it really is. Honestly, it's uplifting to see what's happening. It really is. And I'm happy to see these homes are fantastic. I love to see this type of thing preserved. And even I talked with my council person, the businesses also that are historic. I love to see those preserved also. And again, thank you all for putting up with me.
It's all due to, the council, council. Hello, once you're on the council or city council, everything's a council, okay?
Yes.
Especially after 8 years of service, But like Commissioner Hardy, Vice Chair Rush, and Commissioner, did I say, Ed, did I call your name? Marashi?
Yep.
We last year worked very, very hard in order to include everyone throughout the city to be able to expand our historic preservation efforts by lowering the fees. Yay! And so forth. It went from $10,000 to what?
Wow.
Less than, if you have a Mills Act agreement, what is it? What, 3,000? Get on that, and just to put it on, it's $500. With a little work. Am I right, men?
Correct.
That's correct. And it made it affordable that we included all areas out there of Santa Ana, because we do have some beautiful Queen Anne homes on the east side, On the west side, we have beautiful south side, where I'm on the south end of Santa Ana. We have some beautiful homes that need to be on this register, and especially they are now at the age that they can. So
yes.
We're looking to have more.
That's my hope, that we can get this more citywide. I'm on the west end here, and I know it's a little newer than other parts of the city, but again, I think there's some nice, little Texas area I think is important.
That's our area, yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Right, White Commissionership, Little Texas, that's us, right?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's
well, I'm really close to you. I'm right across New Hope.
I don't know. You're muted, Commissioner Chef. You're muted. And so forth. But anyway, on your west side over there, remember we have this category of key, and
Yes.
key not only includes building, but key also represent represent important people that have made history in Santa Ana. West side,
Yes.
you have Pat McGuigan, first female ever to be on the city council, Pat McGuigan, and so forth, going back there. And her home is in the West Side neighborhood over there. So this is what we're looking at. And then in in the area that Commissioner Ship, his mother, okay?
Yes, yeah.
His mother, her home, and Harriet Tyler.
Yeah.
Harriet Tyler's home, many of that, and like I brought in from a rate down to Bristol, they had the Black Businessmen Alliance, all those businessmen, because of the fact that during this time that, down the 50s and 60s, and correct me if I'm saying something wrong, they couldn't join the chamber because of racism, okay?
Gotcha.
And they had to form their own alliance and so forth. And that second, what is it? This, AME Church, Johnson Chapel AME Church. If you ever passed on 2nd and Bristol there, you see that cross that's on the top of that building? The chaplains of the base gave that cross that had been there on the base ever since World War II at El Toro. They gave it to them to as a present to that church. So you've got historical connecting that to El Toro. So we have a lot of history that now Commissioner Carpenter, and I hope I'm guys don't mind me talking about this, but
No, I think
in
it's
answering
wonderful.
to his question, that we have a lot of historical areas that now are able to come onto our register. And really, we're a city that serves all. Is that not right?
Well, yeah, and I think it's important on a multitude of levels. I look at like the orange circle there, the old orange, and it's a nice place to go, right? And that's what I want to have people think of Santa Ana. It's a nice place to go.
Right. Okay.
Thank
You
you.
so much for your comment. My dear friend, Commissioner Marashi, you know, you look so different on television.
I gained a few pounds there too, but anyway.
Haven't we all?
Welcome all the new commissioners. This is a fun commission to be on. I think it's important to the city, and I think you're going to have a good time. The second thing is I want to congratulate all the homeowners. Thank you for bringing your properties and taking that much interest in them and trying to preserve them and bringing them to us to get them on the registry. And finally, I want to thank the city staff and Pedro especially for all the research he did and the outstanding presentation. Thank you, Pedro.
Thank you. My dear friend, Commissioner Hardy.
Oh, hi, Chair Christie. Yes, I'd like to welcome the new commissioners. This is a really fun commission with a lot of interesting things to learn. And I'd like to thank staff for all their hard work, bringing the nominations forward. And I'd like to congratulate the applicants and their property. And I'd like to extend my condolences, Chair Christie, to the loss of your mother. I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you so much. Yeah, she lived she was in Los Angeles. She was a Texan, and don't mess with Texas. Okay, 97, well respected by everyone in her community, from police, fire, Board of Education, everybody on that. And yeah, but you know what? She's in heaven. And I wonder what gumbo tastes like in heaven, you know?
Heavenly, no doubt.
Anyway, Commissioner McLaughlin, my dear friend.
How are you? Thank you. I appreciate that. And ditto on the fact that your mother passed. Sorry to hear that. Welcome up to all the new commissioners that are representing the various wards on the HRC. Look forward to working with you over the next 6 or so months. So appreciate your support.
Thank you so much. My good friend, Commissioner Pena Sarmiento with the cheer. Were you ever a cheerleader?
No, I was not. But I am very excited about history. So I want to extend my condolences, Chair Christie, also. And she sounds like an amazing lady. And I also want to let everybody know about a wonderful opportunity we have to celebrate our local history here in Santa Ana with the redesign or the restoration of South Main that's finally going to happen this year. Some of us South Main neighborhood leaders, like Commissioner Hardy and Irma Jaregui and some of the other local neighborhood leaders, we advocated to get some posts installed all along South Main, about 18 posts, freestanding poles next to each bus shelter. And so that opens up the possibility to create some historical toppers that can celebrate our local businesses, historic buildings, notable residents. They can have QR codes and have a website that ties in the history of South Main. Some of you might be aware that South Main was actually, the end of it was the site of the first drag strip in America. It was featured on Life magazine. It was also location for the famous Black Derby nightclub where the Righteous Brothers were discovered. It was also the location down there by Warner, which is within that footprint, was the site of one of our old sugar beet factories. You know, we have a lot of history on South Main. It's a great opportunity to celebrate it. So I wanted to ask staff and all of you fellow commissioners what the process is for proposing a project, you know, to fund and design the content of these toppers. What I'm thinking is maybe they would look like the ones in Los Angeles. There's something called Angel Walk. If you look up the website angelwalkla.org, that'll give you an example of how Los Angeles has created these little markers all throughout the city, in Chinatown, Echo Park, San Pedro, all over Hollywood. So people can give themselves self-guided tours through those neighborhoods. And we can do the same on South Main. So that would consist of like etched metal, a QR code, and maybe a website. So how would we propose the toppers now that the posts are all going to be a part of the plan? You know, how would we budget that, fund that, maybe collaborate with other commissions? So I put that to you. I know I sent a note to Chair Christie and to Commissioner Hardy about those toppers, you know, about those posts. So maybe we can continue the conversation in a future meeting.
Executive Director Min Tai, I don't see you. Min, are you here?
I'm here.
Oh, there you are. Okay, all right. Can you, is it possible to work with Commissioner Pena Sarmiento?
What I'll do is I'll reach out to the commissioner, get some more information, and you know, ascertain as to the scope of the project, and then we can discuss on some ideas. I'll reach out to her after the meeting.
Okay, and keep us all in the loop on this, because I know that she and Commissioner Hardy, I've been listening on your Zoom meetings regards to this project on that. They have really, I mean, you had some hurdles to overcome, but you guys came through your designs and everything else, and you presented it, and yes, it is going to be absolutely fabulous. And what I also like is that not only do you have signs in English and Spanish, but Vietnamese at the same time, that you are being very inclusive to all of our population in the city that's there. So Min, if you would work with her and Janelle, because she's an integral part in that project too, and just keep us all in the upward. Okay?
Sure.
Allow me to say that this is a very exciting project. Certainly, I would recommend for a more full-fledged and thorough discussion of it, that it be agendized at a future meeting, if that's the commission's pleasure.
Absolutely, we would like to have that. Okay. See?
Only because this is a comment period, and that's not an agenda item that could be.
No, that we can do. We can you know, ask for it to be agendized at that.
Of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I'm across from Valley High School, and they're having their first official football. If you hear the things, and I can't turn off the speakers over there. Okay, I'm right across the street from the football field, so please forgive us on that. But one thing she brought, Commissioner Pena Sarmiento brought up on Bill Medley. Many of you know that Bill Medley went to, I don't know the name of the beauty school. He went to the beauty school here in Santa Ana, and he was manicurist. And so he'd go to school, and then afterwards he would go to the beauty school and learn how to be a manicurist. And that way he was able to hold the girls' hands and ask him out for dates. That's a little history about Bill Medley and so forth.
He went to Lathrop Junior High in Santa Ana.
That's Colleen O'Hara.
He went to Lathrop Junior High.
Yeah.
He grew up in Wilshire Square.
Very good on that. But anyway, amazing what we find out as we're exploring the history of this city, especially on that. Thank you so much, Commissioner. Next, I see, let's go to Commissioner Frazier.
I just want to thank everybody for the time that they put in for this meeting, city staff, as well as my fellow commissioners. And thank you for the well wishes and welcoming me aboard this commission.
Thank you. Commissioner Ship.
Yes, I want to thank everyone for.
We can't hear you.
Can't hear me? I don't know why. How about now?
A little bit better. Louder. Can you go louder?
Let me see. My volume is all the way up. How about now?
Okay, very good.
Guess I'm at the scream in the speaker. I just want to thank everyone for being a part of this commission. And I'm very interested in doing some things here in my community as well. As far as historic stuff, like gentlemen, like I'm not sure if you're familiar with Mr. Bussey. And he's 107. I would like to right where he stay at on Walnut and First Street. There's been a mural on the back that says Santa Ana's Finest. But I think by him being 107 years old and being in the city, I think he deserves the street by now. So I'm interested in getting Mr. Bussey Way right on the turnabout, right there on the corner of Walnut and Pacific. Pacific, yeah, is that Pacific? Yeah, Walnut and Pacific. A few other things I'm interested in doing is the Mason Lodge on 5th Street, Duke's Barbershop, which has been in Santa Ana for man, way before my time, maybe since 1939. I think since 1939. But I have so much, and I have so much to learn about this organization. And I will say this is a fun commission. A lot of smiles, you know what I mean? A lot of good energy. So I'm excited about it.
You left out the most important, what Mr. Bussey started was the Masonic Temple. Yeah. The only one now in Santa Ana. And
well, I mentioned that on 5th Street.
Okay. Yeah. And so forth. So yeah. I didn't hear that.
Okay. Yes, that's the value. I'm gonna make sure I fix this next time. Well, that was the second thing I had said. I had said the lodge, the Masonic Lodge on 5th Street, because that is a historic place, especially in our African American community. So that is one of the places that I'm very interested in making historic as well.
I think that with helping Commissioner Ship with that, is it Pedro that can connect with him and start the ball rolling on some of these historic buildings and places, just to let him know what the process and going through, and maybe meeting with community groups that there once we're able to meet with community groups and so forth. And everything, and to help him as far as naming of that street, because you're in charge also of the whole thing, right? That would come from your department.
Well, certainly a lot of these discussion we can have, but as our attorney has mentioned, since it wasn't agendized, it's certainly not something we can take action on. What I would recommend is that let me reach out to the commissioner who has some ideas, and what we could do is discuss, and then I can evaluate and maybe bring something back as a discussion item on how to, consider proceeding with some of these, because some of these may or may not be within the purview of the HRC, and I can give some recommendations. I certainly understand the goals and the desire, and through that process, maybe I can help to direct some of the requests.
Right. As far as direction, that would be great. Okay. Okay. And Vice Chair Rush.
Okay. I guess I'm unmuted. All right. Well, welcome to our new commissioners. I'm sure that you're in for a bit of a learning curve, so don't be bashful to reach out to any of us if we can help you or provide some assistance, and be happy to spend a few hours with you. And if you want to come over to my house, I'll be happy to chew the fat and share some books with you that might help you appreciate some of the different architectural styles that we have here in town, etc. And another thing I might recommend to you is you might take some time to go through, and you can do it online, or you could go to the Santa Ana Library and look at it. But all of the properties that are on the historical register, you can look at those and see pictures of them and why they've been categorized a certain way and what they're named after and so forth. So one of you asked today about how these properties get names, and basically the names follow either who built them, who was the first owner, people of prominence who lived there. So sometimes a house has one name, sometimes it has two. There might even be a small handful that maybe even have three names, but that's how the naming comes about. And as an example, the How Waffle House on the corner of Sycamore and Civic Center, and that's How Waffle, like a waffle you would order at IHOP, not as in waffle as in awful, but named after Dr. Willella Howe Waffle, who was her first husband was Howe, second husband was Edson Waffle. So she had a hyphenated name. But anyway, so if I can help any of you, don't be bashful to reach out to me. I'd be happy to help you. I do want to call attention for each of you. I had sent over to Sarah to do the commissioners. There was an article in I think it was yesterday's LA Times about Preserve Orange County's launch of an interactive historical map for the entire county of Orange. And this has been, we've had this in the works for nearly since the beginning of our organization. And I want to call out Phil Chin, who is a former historical commissioner, both for the county and for the city. Through an organization which he heads, Heritage Orange County, they made some significant, substantial contributions to Preserve Orange County to make that happen. So if you go to Preserve Orange County's website, which is www.preserveorangecounty.org, you can try it out, but you can see all over the county sites that are historic. Many of them are on local registers. Some are on state as well as the national register as well. And those of you that know of sites that you think should be included, why bring them to our attention. Perhaps staff could give us an update. This could be done via a memo or email to us on the First American project and on the housing site that includes the Old Rate Dairy, and also what's going on with the Dr. Julius Crane house, which is on Broadway at Santa Ana Boulevard. Every time I drive by, I just cringe. I'm so deathly afraid that somebody's going to get inside there and set fire to that place, and we'll lose another one, lose another great historic property. I want to call attention that the last week of April, starting April the 26th, is National Preservation Week. And in this sense, it has to do with those people who collect history and have collections of things. That's the last week of April. And then the month of May is National Preservation Month, as sponsored by the National Trust and the National Park Service. So anyway, I'm not sure when our next meeting will be, but undoubtedly those things will occur before we may meet again. And that's all I have to report.
Thank you, Vice Chair Rush. Okay. thank you all for your messages of condolence. I'll relay that to my family. Thank you for your well wishes and prayers. I have a question for you. I, for one, non-tech, I'm old, okay? I am non-tech, okay? And I have a request in that I have a hard copy. I go in, they print it, and so that I have the whole package for paper, so that when I go out, I have this with me and I make my notes and everything else on it, and then I read all of that information as I'm reviewing with hard copy in hand. There are any other commissioners that would like a hard copy too, where you go in and pick it up? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, definitely.
Then how can we work this? Do they just call Sarah and say, you know, because normally I get it the Thursday, come in to pick it up on Thursday, prior to our meeting on the following week, or can we have it delivered? Because it's so important, especially look how many papers we had. And I don't know about you guys, you know, with your electronics, you know, my grandchildren think I'm just a dinosaur, but dinosaurs live. We gave oil, right? Rich resource. But anyway, is it possible then that we can have these delivered to our home again?
Let me discuss that with our our secretary and evaluate what resources we have and how we can best get this to you in terms of either electronically or physical.
I'm sorry, man, I can't hear you.
I said I would discuss this with our secretary and evaluate how we can best get the agenda to you, either in electronic or physical form. And we'll contact each commission afterward.
Okay, great. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. And once again, thank you all for your participation, and welcome again to all the new commissioners. And with that, our next regularly scheduled meeting for the Historic Resource Commission is Thursday, May 6th at 4:30. We are meeting every other month now, except for, you know, this time. But that's what it's regularly scheduled for. We decided that we needed more meetings because we're having more applicants coming in for our historic registration, to be on our historic register. So with that, is there a motion to adjourn?
I make the motion that we adjourn the meeting.
I'll second that.
Okay, moved by Commissioner Marashi, second by Commissioner Carpenter. Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Meeting? Sure. Commissioner Carpenter.
Yes.
Commissioner Hardy. Commissioner Hardy, you are muted.
Sorry, yes.
Commissioner Marashi.
Yes.
Commissioner Schiff.
Yes.
Commissioner Pena Sarmiento.
Yes.
Commissioner Frazier.
Yes.
Commissioner McLaughlin.
Aye.
Vice Chair Rush.
Yes.
And Chair Christie.
Yes.
Motion passes by unanimous consent.
And once again, thanks to staff for all your hard work. And this meeting is adjourned. Bye, guys.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
Good evening, everybody. Yes.